week on One Day Leader, we reveal our top 6 finalists and meet our resident judges for the season. Good evening, Sanbonani, and a warm welcome kuninonke makhaya namgelwa yiyo intombi yakwamtimanze umashongwe laku One Day Leader. You tuned into the second episode of One Day Leader Season 7, and it is the season of the torchbearers. We're here to challenge your outlook by getting you to speak about the issues that impact and affect your world. Happy Valentine's Day to all of you this evening. In the spirit of this romantic day, we'll be looking at dating, courting, and romance. What is true love, you might ask? It can be described as a form of romantic affection that is considered pure and wholly positive and everlasting. A real-world example for that is the long-term love between Reverend Desmond and Mama Leah Tutu. In 2015, they renewed their marriage vows and celebrated over 60 years of marriage. For me, they are the present-day example of the meaning of true love. Times have changed, Bagiti. We have technology. People are easily disposable, and we have certainly become more independent. So, do you believe this generation is doomed when it comes to true love? That is what we want to explore later. But before I get into all of that, I need to answer the question that's probably been on your mind since last week. Who exactly made it into our final top 6? Well, Babugeli, ngaphandle kunimoshela isikhathi, let's get down to introducing our final top 6 leaders.
I'm Peaceful Ngobeni. I'm from Giyani, Limpopo, but I'm based in Bloemfontein, Free State. I'm doing my postgraduate diploma in business administration with UNISA Business School.
When I learned that I was part of top 6, I was very excited. Winning One Day Leader is a battle, but fighting the challenges that are facing South Africa, it's a war. So it was basically that I'm going to be prepared to fight the war.
That is our very first contestant to make it into our final top 6. Peaceful Ngobeni, thank you so much for joining us and congratulations. Your vision statement, please.
I am a disability champion. I am an eye for the blind and an ear for the deaf. I'm a helping hand in time of need, a fortress of refuge for orphans, and a light of hope for widows. Alone, I'm a toothless lion, but together we can create an inclusive society for the marginalized. I am a son of the soil, an African for the Africans.
And now we move on to welcoming our second contestant in the final top 6. Let's take a look at who it is.
My name is Anisa Mazimpaka, a small town type of girl. I am molded by society, and I believe I was thrown in the deep end and taken right out of my comfort zone in this thing of leadership. I'm currently doing my postgraduate honors in public policy and African studies. What I've learned is that amongst us top 6, there is one winner, and I can't really pick out who exactly it'll be. I mean, I hope it'll be me. I mean, I guess that's why we're all here, but I mean, as much as you want to win, you have to know that there's 5 other people who are also capable of winning this show.
She is leader number 2 and is a familiar face, Anisa, from season 5 to season 7. Here you are. Let's listen to your vision statement.
Africa is burning with hope, passion, and a bright future. I had a conversation with Mother Africa the other day, and we spoke of our rich history and the bliss of a united Africa, which led to my vision of social justice through education. South Africa, I have received the signal, and I am here and will forever be inspired by the courage of Mamnomzamo Winnie Madikizela Mandela. This I promise. Call me daughter of the soil.
All right, it's time for us to move on swiftly and welcome leader number 3.
I am a 22-year-old student currently studying towards my diploma in chemical plant operation at the Seshego TVET College. When I got the call for top 6, I couldn't believe it because I was here with everybody in top 20 and I saw what was happening. I I think this season is just going to be very interesting because of the other guys. Like we are all very strong. That's how I feel.
Potato, welcome to One Day Leader Season 7. Your vision statement, please.
If the township and village streets had a voice, they would speak up against the poor education and health systems. They would chant to put a stop to the scourge of poverty and question the inequality dynamics. South Africa, this voice believes in a South Africa or a country that works towards closing the inequality gaps, a country that keeps its ears on the ground. I know that this sounds like a dream, but I'm more than happy to say that this is exactly what democracy first sounded like.
Let's move on to welcoming our next leader in our final top 6. Let's take a look.
My name is Griffiths Musi Khosi from a village outside Rustenburg, Manamakhoteng. Graduated co-OBT. I'm a qualified artisan by trade. I worked for Anglo American. I'm now self-employed. I took a brave decision to leave my job and focus on business full-time. Hearing that I'm in the top 6, yeah, I was excited. And when the news came, it came as a great joy. Yeah. I was more concerned of the job coming because I know it's not going to be an easy road. It's going to be a hell of a lot of things to be done. So yeah, the excitement was there, but most importantly is knowing that I know.
Leader number 4 is Griffiths Horsey. Welcome to One Day Leader Season 7. Your vision statement, please.
In a country with high unemployment rates, fellow South Africans, let's make entrepreneurship a norm. The solutions to the country's problem do not lie on the hands of politicians. They lie on the hands of entrepreneurs. Bagaetso, we are all CEOs. Hashtag, I believe, Kya Dumela, forward we go.
And let's see who is leader number 5.
My name is Busisiwe Catherine Siabe, also known as Kitty Cat, the chocolate of the revolution. I'm that sweet thing, you know, when times are rough, to come in. But apart from that, I'm a postgraduate student at the University of the Whites with Rands, also known as Witwatersrand. I am also a social justice activist. I'm a writer, I'm a corporate MC. I got the call for the top 6. So for me, it's a challenge that I welcome and I'm interested in engaging. Also, I'm very interested in seeing how South Africa will engage with me more than anything.
And that is leader number 5. She's here behind her podium. Congratulations, Busisiwe. Your vision statement, please.
For 24 years, I have walked across my villages from Ekhini to Ekwamashawu and even Ematatene and Newcastle, with the voice and the song in my spirit that continued to remind me that my duty was to continue to fight for our economic freedom, and it is my duty to win. I am not a martyr, but I am a freedom activist and I am a leader. I believe in the black love and truth of sweat, and I believe that unomzamo wayisusa kumele sithathe la wayisusa khona siyise phambili ngamandla sizohamba sinqobe amandla.
And last but not least, we welcome to the podium leader number 6.
I'm Webster Ibrahim Morrison. I'm from the city of Polokwane in Limpopo, and I'm from a little suburb called, or well, not a suburb, Westernburg. I'm involved in debating. I'm also currently the South African junior coach for debating. Making it to the top 6, I think, was something that I've always imagined, but never thought that it would happen because we were so many beautiful, bright minds that were here.
Webster, congratulations. You are leader 6. Let's hear your vision statement.
I imagine a world in which we see a paradigm shift from traditional education to a 21st century approach. A world where we are not excluded by not being able to compete with artificial intelligence. Because in this world, we invent it, we speak to it, and it helps us solve problems. Ladies and gentlemen, in this world, we see technology becoming not a barrier, but we see technology becoming a bridge towards us and our problems. South Africa, the robots are coming, and they're coming fast.
Thank you very much, leaders, for your vision statements. Now, Mzansi, there you have it. These are your final top 6 leaders. Sanizwele, as to what they've given you, this is what you can expect from them and a whole lot more this season. The question is, will they live up to it? Now, remember, you at home can join the conversation and hold them accountable by visiting our Facebook page, One Day Leader SA, to share your comments on our topic tonight. Also, check out our Twitter page. It's at One Day Leader and hashtag One Day Leader 7. Now, on to the voting. I guess to vote for your favorite leader, SMS his or her number to 32792. If you want to vote for Peaceful, SMS Leader 1. For Anissa, SMS Leader 2. For Khotadzo, SMS Leader 3. Griffiths, Leader 4. Busi, Leader 5. And for Webster, SMS Leader 6. Now, leaders, by the end of this season, you would have been expected to come up with your very own legacy project. Remember that this is an opportunity for you to make a marked difference in the lives of ordinary South African citizens. Now, last week, we broke tradition and asked our alumni to select this year's top 6 finalists instead of our resident judges. Well, I'm thrilled to inform you that we will be kicking off this season of the show with brand new judges. Although it was not easy to choose, we've gathered 2 very special individuals whose talents and experience make them more than equal to the task. I'd like to thank all the previous judges for their contribution and expertise in making One Day Leader the great platform that it's become today. Now, without further delay, let's see who our brand new judges are.
My name is Gugu Mhlungu. I am a media professional with a background in broadcasting. I currently work as a magazine editor. I'm also a writer, TV presenter, radio presenter. And in my writing, I'm very interested in South Africa and how very complicated this country is and where we can find solutions. As a judge, I'm looking for content. I'm looking for arguments that are based on reading widely and understanding of the law, especially the Constitution, because I think a lot of the issues will stem out of that. So for me, content is very, very important.
My name is Ndumiso Hadebe. I am a consulting economist for a company called Pax Africana Investment Holdings. I have been in business full-time for the past 3 years now. Prior to that, which was also prior to me having the good fortune of winning One Day Leader Season 2, I had the opportunity to work for Shanduka Black Umbrellas, which was one of the entities of what was previously Shanduka Group and is now the Cyril Ramaphosa Foundation. My expectations of the top 6 in this specific season is two-faceted, or it's twofold. I have specific expectations on the leadership side. Do they demonstrate accountability? Do they demonstrate qualities that I think are the kind of leadership attributes that an emerging young leader in South Africa needs today? But also because I'm very passionate about the African continent and the position that it is. Are these young people intentional about their leadership journey to be able to address some of the pertinent issues that we face?
South Africa, meet our new resident judges, Gugulethu Gugs Mhlungu and Ndumiso Hadebe. Give them a round of applause again. Ndumiso, welcome. You spoke about having been a previous contestant on the show. What are your expectations for this season, seeing that it's a long time since season 2?
It certainly has been a long time, and a number of things have changed and other things have not changed. But I have great expectations from the contestants in this season. I expect a robust debate, and I think given from the vision statements as far, it's set to be quite an exciting season, but also because it's an election year.
All right, thank you very much, Ndumiso. Googs, it's great to have you on our season 7, the year of the torchbearers. I'm interested in finding out what you'll be bringing to the table. You spoke extensively about what you want to see from our respective leaders. But what's that magic touch that you're bringing that I know you have?
I think I'm going to be bringing kind of the media broadcast element to it. So the listening for the content. I spoke about content earlier on. So that we've engaged with the issue. We know what the law says. We know what the facts are.
All right. Thank you very much and welcome to the both of you. Last but not least is our guest judge. She's an experienced social and dating coach, motivational speaker and relationship expert. She's a well-known contributor to South Africa's most popular TV and radio shows. Please welcome Makabelo Coach KB Mhlampe Dr. Love Mutawung. It's great to have you on the show. I mean, this topic is really one for everybody, the young and the old. Do you think that true love, as it were, is still possible in a modern society where so much has changed?
I think it's possible. I've seen it. I witness it every day, in fact. Although I think you wouldn't be wrong to say that it's getting harder to find and cultivate. I think with the right approach and attitude, we can still have love.
All right. Thank you very much, KB. What about you at home? What do you think about the situation? Does true love exist in the 21st century? Nina Lape Makaya, you are more than welcome to join the conversation and share your thoughts on our topic by visiting our Facebook page, One Day Leader SA. Also visit our Twitter page at One Day Leader. And remember that all-important hashtag One Day Leader 7. Join us after the break where our leaders will investigate their very first task for the season. Ungasuki kulo ndawo. Iphinde namukele ku One Day Leader Season 7 khona la ku SABC 1 Mzansi for sure. Two movements, namely the hashtag #MeToo and hashtag #MEnAreTrash, vibrated across the country and the globe on social media in response to the inappropriate behavior that men exhibit towards women on a daily basis. After that, a study by MTV revealed that 40% of males between the ages of 18 to 25 said that the hashtag #MeToo movement changed the way men now act in potential romantic relationships. In a nutshell, these men were not only worried about being rejected, but they also feared sexual harassment claims. This is the task our leaders were given to investigate. Let's take a look at this insert.
Guys,
We've
got
I'm
mail.
the one who will answer.
Happy. Good day, leaders. Is dating and romance still possible in the era of changing gender dynamics? Your task is to conduct a survey to find out what are the changing attitudes towards courting and dating. Are women less responsive to advances by men in the era of changing gender dynamics? And how do men court a woman while still being mindful of her boundaries? Leaders, be reminded that this task plays a critical role in your success in this competition. I will not tolerate underperformance which costs you points as an individual or a group. Good luck. Since the task is about relationships and courtships in this day and age, it'll be interesting to get a public perspective as to how they feel the dynamics have changed. I think we should conduct the survey that the task specifies. We should also conduct like a practical, right? So that we try and approach
Like an
different,
interaction.
yeah, type of thing. Basically, and then we'll have like an intimate interview session.
The task is very interesting. So, it should be an interesting activity.
Okay, from the girls, we'll have Busi and Khotatso.
Yes.
And then from the guys, it'll be Peace and Khosi. And also, I think it'll be fitting if we get like advice from someone who actually conducts these stuff so that they can guide us.
So Anissa and I are going out to meet Mukebe from HDI. And she's going to give us like a background on how we should conduct surveys and how the technical aspects of surveys. And we hope to get some data in understanding what is the shift, the paradigm shift between traditional relationships towards a more modern relationship.
We just have a few questions that you can assist us with. The first being like, what are the basics of a survey or a questionnaire, as well as striking the balance between quantitative and qualitative on that one page.
Also with that, I think what's important, because romance and dating could also sometimes be a sensitive topic. So how do we ask the questions without like invading on privacy or like being too intrusive?
Yes.
Because I think qualitative questions maybe could want us to ask very explicit questions, so we don't want to be too intrusive. Research is a very technical field, so she made us understand what qualitative and what quantitative research was and how we could go about researching.
If you're promising people anonymity, you have to do just that. So you're not going to require their names. You're also going to have to do some sort of thing where they sign to say, I voluntarily and whatnot agreed to be a part of this survey.
Her highlighting that we need them to sign off at the end. I think that's very important when it comes to validation and verification.
After the leaders were briefed, they met a marketing specialist who gave them the tools on how to conduct a survey and prepare themselves for the task ahead of them. Let's take a look at how they implemented it within a matter of 24 hours.
So the first thing that we did when we reached the mall is we distributed your questionnaires.
Okay, so we just found lockers and we're about to go and put our stuff there to be kept safe, and then we can start distributing the questionnaires.
Yeah.
So can I give you guys the questionnaires for now? Be back in like at least 10 or 15 minutes. Okay, I'll let you guys know.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. And how are you? Do you mind if I take this? Thank you very much. If you wouldn't mind, would you mind answering this questionnaire for me?
Sure, no
literally
problem.
It'll take you 2 minutes. It shouldn't be long.
It's fine.
If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me.
After the questionnaires, Webster and myself headed to go and do in-depth interviews where we have one-on-one discussions. So the target was to get opinions from the younger generation and the older generation.
I actually met my husband when I was 13 years old.
13, okay.
Very, very young. But I was mature for my young age. 43 years later.
43 years,
we're
going
still
strong.
together and we are quite happy still.
I think social media has changed a lot of the dynamics. I don't think men approach women like they used to before, whereas everything used to be kind of like in person. I think it's a lot more, you know, through texts, through, you know, people sliding into each other's DMs and kind of exchanging, you know, kind of knowing beforehand whether or not the person is interested.
The dynamics have just changed so much. It's almost like everyone has a fair chance at this approaching a person thing.
Yeah, go do your thing. You just have to do your thing.
The shellering was beautiful. I felt tense at first and I thought that I couldn't do this until I realized that I'm just about to walk past him and he'll realize that I've been walking around him. So I had to go there and just do the things.
Hi, how are you? Can I join you?
The first one was nice. I enjoyed the first one. Do you mind if I sit? Thank you. Abuti neki mosala na mplela gore na le girlfriend. Oh, sampatleng. Loyal. So how mpatli just because you're loyal?
The shellering was quite progressive because I think we got him exactly where we wanted him. He wanted to take me out for ice cream on the spot while we wait for my friend. Oh, okay.
Unless you really want to now.
No, I'm fine. I do. I eat ice cream.
Hey, yeah, me too. No, Kiboni. No, it's not easy, hey?
Am I bothering you? Sorry, are you with someone?
No, I'm fine.
Would you mind if I...
You can, but I just want to be myself.
You want to be yourself? Oh, I'm so sorry. My name is Busisiwe, by the way. And you are?
I don't know about that. So fine.
I'll be very honest, I shut down.
Hey, can I host, by the way? Wait. Host. Yeah.
Okay,
Kaji. No, do not pick My most difficulties encountered was on the shelling part. Before I was up for the game, I'm from the Bundi, so shelling is not a problem. But now, until getting there and doing the shelling, you realize, you know what, you are shelling a real person here, who's being genuine, who's expressing herself now. It became a problem to me, you know, and then she looked at it on a natural way, and guess what, now I was there for, unfortunately.
It was nice that I got lost. I wouldn't have met you in the right direction, eh?
Yeah. The aim was to engage, so I don't think that had anything to do with feeling emotional.
Great to meet you. I have to go.
Okay,
all right, thank you so much.
Our 3 task objectives, I believe, were met.
I don't think men are afraid. I just feel like it's the approaching, the manner which you approach, because you never really know who you're talking to.
A study conducted by Health24 showed that 1 in 3 South Africans have been intimate with a co-worker somewhere along the line. But the men are trash, and especially the Me Too movements changed the workplace drastically when powerful men in multiple industries were accused of sexual misconduct. What are your thoughts regarding this issue? Singathanda ukuzwa eyenu imbono. Ngakho-ke vakashelani our Facebook page. It's One Day Leader SA to share your thoughts on the topic. Also, take a look at what's happening on our Twitter page. It's One Day Leader, and that all-important hashtag is One Day Leader 7. Masbuye Dolo, our 6 finalists will begin their first round of debates for Season 7. Your big shuba. Welcome back. You are still watching One Day Leader Season 7. Igama ke nginguPearl wakwaShongwe. In the previous segment, our leaders got the opportunity to perform their first task for the season and learned the importance of topic investigation, cooperation, and teamwork, which is an important factor in assessing their performance in the competition. Now they will get to experience their first debates of the season. But before we start with our first debate, let's take a look at the rules of engagement.
These are the rules for the One Day Leader debate. You have 30 seconds to state your vision statement, 60 seconds for the opponent to challenge, and 30 seconds to conclude your debate.
All right, our first debate is between Webster Morrison and Peaceful Ngobeni. While leaders, the debate topic, as you are aware, is dating and romance still possible in an era of changing gender dynamics? All right, before we get to the first debate, Ndumiso, let me quickly come to you. Who will be for and who will be against?
Webster will be for in this debate and Peaceful will be against.
Thank you very much, Ndumiso. Okay, leaders, it's leader 1 and leader 6 for this very first debate challenge. Peaceful, your 30 seconds start now.
Yes, I begin my debate by saying dating is possible, but romance is not possible. Simply because dating and romance these days has been politicized by the feminist movement. You can't get close to a person and don't feel like you have to be in some form of legal agreement. In most cases, sometimes you don't even know that if you love a person, the more you get closer to them, is the further you feel away from them. I'm going to give you a practical example. Blind people don't really have politics in relationships. Hence, when we want to apply politics in relationships, they don't experience them. Hence,
thank you very much, Peaceful. Your 30 seconds are up. You guys can engage on the topic.
Okay, so Peaceful, just out of curiosity, I think that disabled people not being able to see means that if they were to experience emotions, that means that they would experience emotions on the same level as other people.
That justifies that with the absence of politics, true love and romance won't exist. But romance doesn't exist just because we have politicized it, because of what we do in the nature. We're interfering with nature.
There's already a contradiction in your case because you choose love, but you choose romance, but you don't want to choose dating or either or the other. I don't think that those things can exist in isolation. I think that when you want
you need to be specific when you're speaking of love. Because if we're speaking of disabled people, I became more specific. And I really want to agree with you, but if you don't become more specific with me, I can help you.
Specificity should come from your side of the house. You should have told me in your debate why you think disabled people will experience love or dating in a different way. I tell you that emotions are the one that would bring you on the same level.
So in the absence of politics, romance won't...
Okay, let's forget politics.
All right, 60 seconds is up. Peaceful, you have the remaining 30 seconds to close your statement.
Well, I believe that in the absence of politics and relationships, men can be taught how to respect women. We won't be engaging in a quest where we teach women to become better devils. Because yes, men are trash, I might understand, but I want to be a better man. So if we run a movement of trying to politicize things, we're not making things any better. So I want to be an agent of change and say that we can politicize things. We have to correct right by right, not wrong by wrong. And that's my statement.
All right, thank you very much. The tables are turned. Webster, you have 30 seconds.
Panel, understand that emotions and something like love and dating and romance is one that every human being needs. This debate required us to say that people that go into corporate spaces and in the era of changing gender dynamics where females take on a better role or a more explicit role than men, it required us to say that those individuals need love. Individuals like disabled people need love. They need to experience that type of emotion. That's the only way that we are the same. Because, ladies and gentlemen, if individuals are differently abled,
time is up. Thank you very much, Webster. You guys have 60 seconds.
What does romance and love have to do with being in a corporate space?
Individuals entering the corporate space have lesser time. In the era of changing gender dynamics...
So are you promoting sexual harassment in the workplace when you want to speak of romance and in work?
You're not engaging me if you're not allowing me to speak. In the era of changing gender dynamics, it means that individuals need that form of outlet, that outlet area where they explicitly love as hard as possible.
But this debate required us to do that. Because we're speaking of romance here, but we're taking it to the workplace. I'm trying to understand with you that how are gender dynamics relating to romance in the workplace?
If humans and gender exists in the workplace, that means that love and romance exist in the workplace as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I've been very explicit in my criteria and context.
Are you promoting sexual harassment? Is that what you're saying? Because I will look at you with an eye and you feel like I'm harassing you.
Okay, so individuals have in the era of changing gender dynamics, women have the ability to say, no, you're trash, stop looking at me. I think that that's what I value on my side of the house, and he's not seeing that.
But Miss, you saying no, how is that making things better?
All right, time is up, leaders. Webster, you have the remaining 30 seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, by the change of gender dynamics in society, we recognize different genders that are coming about. We recognize individuals that are even aromantic, meaning individuals that are able to get into spaces and say that I don't want to be in romantic relationships. Individuals that are able to recognize their autonomy and speak against patriarchal senses. We think that in that sense, ladies and gentlemen, what he does is he fuels the idea that chivalry and courtship can only happen under patriarchal umbrellas. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Leaders, give them a round of applause, please. All right, Googs, I'll come to you. Just your reflections on that very first debate. Did our leaders stick to the criteria that you're judging them according to?
I think they struggled a bit with the topic, especially getting into especially in their opening statements, getting right into what they want to talk about. And I think also when they were discussing, when they were debating, because they weren't very clear in their opening statements about what they were looking to discuss, they kind of got lost in the debate. So I think that opening statement's very important because it also gives you a clear direction on what your argument is. You're then able, hopefully, in the discussion to talk about the merits of the argument.
All right. Demisa, are the scores in?
Yes, indeed they are.
Give us the verdict of who took that first debate between Leader 1 and Leader 6.
Leader 6 took this debate.
All right. Congratulations to you, Leader 6. Must we eat all or we get to our next round of debates. Ningaenda. Welcome back to One Day Leader. Before the break, we started with our first round of debates. Googs, let me quickly come to you. For this debate, who will be for and who will be against?
For debate number 2, Busisiwe will be for, Anissa, you will be against.
All right, you guys know the rules of engagement. Anissa, your 30 seconds starts now.
Okay, so dating and romance is not possible. However, dating and romance will always exist because no matter how much we try to run away from it, we have to admit that we are likers of things. A proof would be that even though dating in the 21st century has become an exercise and a half, of which we should probably incorporate into the Olympic Games as an extreme sport because, wow, guys, gender dynamics, though, was never the issue. The issue has always been the societal norms. And unfortunately, at the pace that we're going, yes, it is.
Time is up. Thank you very much. You guys have 60 seconds to engage. Contestants?
Okay, so a man in this case, right? So,
Anissa, I've got a bit of a question. So how exactly does, gender dynamics, how do they not facilitate or strengthen relationships? How do they not encourage more sexual activity between couples? How do they essentially not accentuate romance between individuals? And isn't it subjective in the sense of romance being subjective from
here
the
what I was
person who
investigating was dating and romance, right? So what I was saying is that it's not really about the gender dynamics, it's about the societal change. So you can leave the issues of gender, but you look at society and what society always dictates. If society 20 years ago dictated, let me finish, allow me to finish. Am I answering your question?
No, you're not. What if I put it to you that people are able to separate their romantic life and their dating experience from society and societal norms?
Okay, but
because
that's
that has
not
been the
possible.
fashion
That's not
right
possible.
now with black radical feminism and
it's not possible.
How
the
is it
issue
not
with
possible?
feminism is that it is very selective, Busi. If you can give me an example that proves what you're saying, then I'll be able to listen to you.
And time is up. Thank you very much, judges. Anissa, you have the remaining 30 seconds.
It's really unfortunate that society has long defined and created boxes that keep us controlling these dynamics. But surely, if your love is strong, then congratulations, you have won. Ladies, I am saying this especially to you. Don't lose yourself in the ever-changing society that it'll never be satisfied. So in your relationship, don't fight to be the head, fight to be the neck. Because guess what? A head cannot move without a neck. So you are actually dictating the direction in which that head moves. Get the signal? Got it? Thanks.
Thank you very much. Leader 5, your 30 seconds start now.
Thank you. Is dating and romance still possible in the era of ever-changing gender dynamics? Yes, it is still very possible. Because one, romance is subjective. What someone considers to be romantic might not be what another person considers to be romantic. Yes, we do have social norms that dictate to us how relationships should be coordinated and how people should engage in dating. But in the era of social media, in the era of apps, in the era of people being able to meet outside of the societal norms, we find that people
Thank you very much. Your time is up. Your 60 seconds start now.
Well, see, I'm trying to find the grounds in what you're saying, because if you had to look at the power dynamics that play out, a man who actually is submissive to his girlfriend within the relationship, the moment he steps out, he's male privilege. You don't know where I'm going. Let me complete this.
Exactly
his male privilege allows
what Anissa is trying to say
I am asking you a question. You don't have the question.
I do know where you're going. What you're basically attempting. I'm attempting.
But I didn't ask you the question.
Anissa, I know exactly where you're going.
No, you don't. Oh, so now you're Sangoma. You can like relate to my head.
I know where you're going.
Okay, listen. What I was saying is that in this current age, right, on the outside, a man will be perceived as if he's in control because of his privilege. So how exactly do you address this in saying that gender dynamics are possible?
As I said before, I know exactly where you're going.
No, now you can
basically,
answer,
the more gender unequal, thank you. Basically, the more gender unequal men's personal attitudes are, the more they prefer qualities in women such as youth and attractiveness, right? So this is them also.
You're not
answering
the question.
Anissa, allow me to finish.
But you're not answering the question.
Being able to move.
You can have a moment.
Time is up. Thank you very much. We can see what you have the remaining 30 seconds. We'll see you.
Thank you. So what Anissa is trying to prove at this point in time is that men are essentially pressured, or they're unable to move outside of their gender norms or societal norms that are prescribed unto them. And unfortunately, that is not true. Individuals are able to think for themselves and to self-actualize. What she is not allowing individuals to do within dating and within romance is to self-actualize and to determine between two individuals what happens amongst them. What she is trying to do and trying to say is that society inevitably does dictate everything that happens. And I do not believe so.
Let me quickly come to Ndumiso. I see Googs is still writing in her score. So I'll just give you a moment to have reflections on the second debate before you give us the verdict.
Sure. I think it was a relatively robust conversation, but I think once again I was reminded about the importance of allowing each other space to engage. And also the undertones in the engagement is also quite important. So it's important to listen to each other, respond, and so on. Given the limited amount of time at a technical level, we need to ensure that whether we respond or asking questions, we keep it as minimalistic as possible so that there's enough space to be able to engage with one another. So those are my remarks for now.
All right. And do you guys have the verdict?
Yeah, we have reached a decision, and Anissa will take this one.
All right. Thank you very much, judges. Congratulations, Anissa. All right, we have to move on very swiftly to our last debate for the evening, and it is between Kgothatso Manamela and Griffiths Kgosi. All right, before we get into our final round of debates, let me quickly come to KB. She will tell us who will be for and who will be against in this debate.
All right, so Leader 3 will be for and Leader 4 will be against.
All right, thank you very much. Guys, your 30 seconds starts now. Leader 3.
Now, from the time of the hunter and gatherer, we realize that the self-evident truth of the resentment of change in gender dynamics is the reason why we have this debate, is the reason why I am to argue for feminism. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we need to realize that this is largely influenced by the ideas about gender. This is largely influenced by socio-cultural ideas about gender. These are behaviors that we don't question as society because we deem as being normal. Now, society doesn't question this, and I'm therefore proposing that depending on how gender dynamics are manifested, it can either challenge or reinforce norms.
Time is up. Thank you very much. You guys have 60 seconds to engage the topic.
Oh, so Kgothatso, you are for feminism. You are one of those that men hate us and go out calling themselves feminists. There's no such. You just hate men. For what reason?
You don't understand what feminism is. If you're going to engage on the point of feminism, you need to realize that we do recognize that men are in fact existing, and we do realize that we need to also engage and exist men at the same level that they want to engage us. So that's the problem with men generically, because men say that we hate them to the point where they don't want to admit that we also exist.
Can I? You know, you must shut up long enough to hear me speak.
That's it.
Not a problem there. So, as you put it to me, are you saying that should I be comfortable with you approaching me and saying that you engage me to be in a relationship with you?
Why is it so different if I'm the one that feels that I want to be in a relationship with you? But when
Let's
the
take it
tables
home.
have
Let's
turned,
take it home. Let's
listen
take
to
it
me.
home.
When the
From where
tables
you
have
come
turned,
from.
it is more comfortable for you to do that. I see that you're talking about culture and where I'm coming from, but we are moving into a dimension where culture does not necessarily influence our daily
A
lives.
dynamic we should not oppress men. Right now, you go us calling us names. And when, you know what we do? Rally support. We go there and be with you ladies.
Time is up. Leader 3, you have the remaining 30 seconds.
Thank you. What holds us back more than anything is our entrenched beliefs. We say that we are afraid of change, but only because it is questioning our identity. Men's identity are now being questioned. When they were moving from technology, with technology, from writing letters and communicating via cell phones and then WhatsApp, they didn't have a problem. They now have a problem because this very idea is one that is one that shakes their own egos, is one that says, who are you? So men do not want to engage with women on the same level, and that I find is the main problem in today's debate. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Your 30 seconds start now, Leader 4.
Bagaetso, feminism is killing romance. I, for one, will not be in a relationship whereby I'll be dictated and oppressed by a fellow woman. Yes, ke tlhogo e ratang lapa, mara ga re gore tshwantse gatelle. We are therefore living creatures. Banna, we are treasure. This thing is treasure. I'm from a farming perspective. If you have potatoes that are rotten, you do something with it. You fix the error. You don't label them trash.
Time is up. You have 60 seconds to engage.
So the problem I have with your argument is that you refuse to realize that we calling you out as men is we trying to say that this is the problem and try to fix it. The problem is that men do not want to be called out on what they do on the streets. They would rather be comfortable in their own behaviors. That's the problem I have.
Please, be brief.
Sure.
So that I can respond.
Sure.
Don't take my time. Let's engage. What is your question again? After saying so much of nothing.
The problem is that why do men find it a problem when they're being called out? So the reason is that.
Let me answer you. Also,
Cool.
you're asking and answering yourself.
Sure.
Okay, go on. The platform is yours.
The problem in today's debate, I find, is that if you're not identifying the problem,
Debate with yourself, okay?
If you're not identifying the problem, you'll not be able to solve it, Khosi.
Are you done debating with yourself?
Sure.
Can I respond?
Sure.
Okay, Khotazo. Ladies and gentlemen, as we are here, I stand to define men. We are not free with this thing of women trying to take our role. We are the ones who are men, and we say it is not possible in this changing era to be in an easy relationship.
Time is up. Thank you very much. You have the last remaining 30 seconds, Leader 4.
In my closure, no matter the era of life, as a lover, you'll be strong, gentle, leading, and following. You will celebrate her sexuality so that she can feel free to abandon herself completely with you. There's a song that goes, Mtande, Mtande, umuntu wako. No matter the day and age, we men will always love you women. Rale rata.
Thank you very much, leaders. That was the final round of debates. Gugu, let me come to you. You know, the audience is clearly having a great time having listened to that final debate. I'm not sure if they're entertained by antics in as much as they're entertained by the content, which I know you were keenly listening out for.
Yeah, I do think, again, there is the issue of narrowing in on the question. I think both arguments were kind of all over the show. Research, and this is a comment I think about all the debates, research has been lacking. And obviously that is the nature of debate, kind of drawing on information you have. But I think that could have been much better. I think what's also quite important is, again, listening. I think the showmanship of showing that, you know, I'm not listening and I'm putting you down is not, it doesn't help the debate. I mean, at some point someone said, you know, can you shut up long enough for me to speak?
Which is not allowed on the show,
Which is not
by the
allowed,
way.
but also it doesn't, you know, so if you are not listening to the other person, then what will you be responding to? Because you must hear their arguments. So I do think just in terms of the technical aspects, research is quite important, but also I think comprehension of the topic and listening. I think that's very, very important. I think there is this idea that we must perform. And I think this show is less about performance, which I think is very, very important.
All right, quickly the verdict. Who took this debate?
The verdict, therefore, in this specific debate, slightly split, but it goes to Khotazo.
All right, thank you very much. Khotazo, well done. All right, for you at home, please continue to send us your comments by visiting our Facebook page, One Day Leader SA, to share your comments on what you saw in our debates tonight. Also, visit our Twitter page. It's at One Day Leader. And remember the all-important hashtag One Day Leader 7. As we go to the ad break, our studio audience will also get an opportunity to have their say by voting for their favorite contestant tonight. But remember, they can only vote for one of the 3 leaders that won their respective debates. You also have an opportunity to vote until Monday at 12 midday. So vote for your favorite leader. SMS igama elithi leader ne number yabo to our SMS line, which is 32792, and it only costs R1.50. As for Nemba Wekif. KB, your parting words are more for the rest of Umzansi. What are our chances in modern day South Africa? What are your parting words and just how we should engage when it comes to issues of courtship and romance?
Yeah, what a time to be alive, to be part of this discussion when young people are unpacking their feelings and love. I think for me personally, what I want to say is that when gender is at play, really we tend to lose out. So define what works for you in your own personal capacity and not necessarily what society says love should be.
All right. Thank you very much for your insights and your time. Well done to our 3 winners for winning their first official debates of the season. We will now find out who our studio audience voted for as their favorite overall contestant in this debate tonight. Congratulations, Khothatso. The audience voted for you as the favorite for today. It's time for us to now look at what the scoreboard currently looks like.
The first debate leaderboard has Khothatso leading with 2 points. Anissa and Webster are trailing behind her with 1 point each.
Remember, you at home will be showing your voting results at the top of next week's episode. Voting lines close on Monday afternoon. Ngethanda ukubonga all our candidates, our judges, our studio audience, and you at home for joining us on this episode. Next week, we'll be discussing yet another thought-provoking topic. From myself, Pearl Shongwe, I leave you with this famous African proverb about love and marriage. The one who loves an unsightly person is the one who makes him beautiful. Until next week, from myself, Ulashongwe, Umdimanzu Bambolunye, Umageza Ngilbise Mandia Hleti, and the rest of the One Day Leader team, City Aikabeni.